great to see you all here today. So let's begin. My name is Arman and I'm the Copilot expert. So I just set the agenda for today's session. So today's session would be all about Microsoft 365 Copilot. We will be understanding the capabilities of Copilot, what are its features, its functioning, and other half of the session would be all about demos. So we have some pre-recorded videos that will help you have a better understanding about the functioning of Copilot. So before we begin, let me just give you a quick introduction to Alif Consulting and what we are all about. So at Alif, we are focused on helping Microsoft partners scale faster by solving big challenges like finding the right people at the right time. Whether you're looking to fill gaps in your technical teams, manage projects or workloads, or handle any specific projects, we make sure we've got the right talent at the right time. So think of us as your hiring talent. We take care of the sourcing, onboarding, managing resources, so you can focus on what really matters, that is growing your business and closing deals. We know that keeping up with the Microsoft ecosystem can be fast paced. So staying ahead means scaling your team as and when required. So that's what we really do at Alif. Uh, Technicality, flexibility, and peace of mind. So let me share something exciting with you. We've been working with Microsoft partners for a while now, okay? And if there's one thing we keep hearing, it's this: the pace of change is insane. From certifications to product updates, and now with AI and Copilot taking center stage, it can feel like you're always trying to keep up. So guess what? You don't have to do it alone. We've created something called the Ultimate Partner Community, and it's exactly what it sounds like: a place where you can get practical insights, tools, and stories from partners who've been where you are today. Okay. So here's what's inside. Simpson says, we know those Microsoft updates can be a headache. So let's break them down into quick, no nonsense summaries and save you time and keep you ahead. Real success stories. Want to know what's working for other partners? We've got those stories as well, plus proven ways to sell Copilot and other solutions. Expert webinars like this one. These aren't just any webinars. We bring in insiders and industry pros to give you actionable tips that you can actually use. So if you've ever felt like you're figuring out on your own, you're not. We've got your back, and we are excited to build this community with all of you. There's a link in the chat, okay, for the community, and you can just enroll yourself by clicking on the link. All right, let's get started. So as we all know, Microsoft has introduced Copilot as an AI that integrates with your Office applications. Now, Office applications like your Word, Teams, Excel, PowerPoint, and all of those. So this is how I like to introduce Copilot to everyone in 3 segments. That is unleash creativity, unlock productivity, and uplevel skills. Talking about unleash creativity, so I'm an IT guy. I'll give you an instance where I had to create a scope of work for a new project, and I had a reference document with me. So what I did was I attached that document to Copilot, and I gave a prompt saying create a SOW for me with the reference to this document. So what Copilot did was it checked the template, it checked the content, and it retrieved the information from there. And it also mentioned a few additional pointers tailored to the new project. So Copilot also added that, and it made a whole new SOW for me for the new project. So it really helped me a lot in staying creative. Now, talking about unlock productivity, in terms of productivity, it's all about saving time. So, for example, if we talk about saving major time, it would be Teams meeting. So let's say you have 2 to 3 meetings and it's conflicting, and you cannot obviously you cannot join all the meetings. So what you can do is after the meeting, you can ask Copilot what all things were discussed in that meeting, and Copilot will give you all the things that were discussed, whether any questions were asked to you, what are the action items, any key takeaways. So it will really help you a lot in terms of productivity as well. Up level skills. Now this one's my favorite. Okay, there was something new in the Microsoft ecosystem that was introduced, and I really wanted to know about the solution. So what I did was I gave a prompt to Copilot saying create a training plan for this particular solution. Okay, a detailed training plan. Now, Copilot being an AI, okay, it created a detailed 2 week training plan, and it told me what I should be focusing on day one, day two, day three. With that, it also gave me some links to some articles, videos that will help me have a better understanding about the solution. So by the end of the training, I had a pretty good knowledge about the solution that I was targeting. Okay. So moving ahead, we have a short demo video for Copilot's functioning. Perfect. So what we saw was a quick glimpse of Copilots working in different Office applications. Like we saw Copilot creating Word documents for us, Copilot creating presentations for us, Copilot summarizing our emails for us, analyzing Excel sheets and all of that. So now let's talk about what makes Copilot a Copilot, okay? Now at a fundamental level, Copilot has a few core components, okay? It combines the power of large language models with your data in the Microsoft Graph and the internet and Microsoft 365 application. Now, what are large language models? Whatever prompts you give to Copilot, okay, saying create this presentation for me or create this Word document for me or summarize my emails for me, all these prompts are processed with the help of large language models. Talking about Microsoft Graph. So Microsoft Graph, it's an interconnected solution in the backend for all the solutions that we use. For example, SharePoint, Teams, Exchange, all of that. So Copilot sits at one window and it retrieves all the information for us, and it will give us all the information we need. Talking about the internet, now whatever information we need that's not there in our M365 environment, Copilot will get that information for us from the web. And talking about M365 applications, so Microsoft is making sure that Copilot is embedded with all your Microsoft 365 applications like OneNote, Loop, even Power Platforms like Power BI, Power Apps, all of that. So that was it for the introductory part. Moving ahead, we have some demo videos, okay, some pre-recorded videos. So yeah, let's jump to that. So the first demo video would be for Copilot in Outlook. Follow me there.
Copilot in Outlook can help you prioritize your time and stay on top of meetings. Here, you've been invited to a meeting that conflicts with another meeting you're already attending. Clearly, you can only attend one. From the meeting invite, you can choose to RSVP with follow. Switching over to your calendar, you can see that you're now following this meeting. Once the meeting starts on Teams, the organizer will receive a notification to record the meeting because someone is following it. Now, after the meeting is done and the recording is ready, Copilot will notify you that the meeting recap is ready for you to review. You can then ask Copilot some questions about the meeting, like, summarize this meeting, or, are there any action items for me? That way you can stay on top of things as if you were present during the meeting.
Great. So that was an example where you saw you had two conflicting meetings, and for one of the meetings that you wouldn't be attending, you just hit the follow button in your Outlook invite. Once you do that, the organizer of the meeting will receive a notification stating that this person is trying to follow and would like you to record the meeting. Once the organizer starts the recording, after that, you can go on the recap and ask any questions to Copilot related to that meeting. For example, summarizing the meeting or any action items or were any questions asked you, all of that. So the next demo is for Copilot in Teams meeting.
Imagine you have an appointment that conflicts with your weekly business review. What if you could do both? With Copilot, you can opt to follow a meeting. After the meeting ends, Copilot will summarize what you missed. You'll get a notification in Teams when the recap is ready. This recap will highlight content that was shared, summarize notes, and any action items for you or others whose names were mentioned. You see that one of your customers was discussed, and you want to learn more. You can ask Copilot clarifying questions, and it provides a detailed response. It can tell you why a certain decision was made, and gives you helpful context. You can even ask Copilot what other solutions were considered, and it provides citations from the transcript so you can see where Copilot drew these conclusions. It's a huge time saver. So that was pretty cool. But the real magic of Copilot happens during a live meeting. Let's say you're in a meeting with your team. You can ask Copilot to summarize the meeting so far. You can see how it summarizes who said what points were made, and it's really capturing the spirit of the discussion. And as the meeting progresses, you can check in on where people stand. You can even ask Copilot what questions are unresolved. It's just amazing to see this happen in real time during a meeting.
Perfect. So again, as you saw, there were two scenarios in this demo. Okay, one was where the meeting was completed. You can go on the recap, get all the information you want with the help of Copilot. Again, summarizing the meeting, action items, all of that. The other example that we saw was Copilot during a live meeting. So in live meeting, it takes about 5 to 7 minutes for Copilot to start its functioning once the transcription is enabled. After that, you can ask any questions to Copilot related to the ongoing meeting. For example, a really cool feature would be for content being shared on screen. Again, Copilot will analyze the content and then answer all the questions you have related to the content being shared on screen. The next demo is for Copilot in Outlook again.
So I just got added to a new project at work. And whoa, this is a long email thread. I'm going to click Summary up top here. And Copilot is going to scan and summarize the key points. And there we go, with citations too. I'll click this one and write to the email for more context. I see this new designer we hired. Let's introduce ourselves. I'll open a new mail and start a draft with Copilot using the /key. A meeting to discuss the project. And go. Okay, nice. I'm also going to try changing the tone here to casual. And regenerate. Cool. I'll touch it up a bit. Whew. And that's what you can do with Copilot.
Great. So the example we saw here was a summary by Copilot. Okay, this one would apply to most of us, people who constantly get marked in CC, people like your managers, directors, CTOs. So they have a lot of inbox emails, right? And they don't really have much time to review what the email says. So by clicking on summary by Copilot, they will get a very good summarization of the whole email trail and they can keep themselves updated. The second example that we saw was a draft with Copilot, like shown in this demo. Okay, a new designer was onboarded. So the employer has drafted an email saying, let's set up a meeting to discuss the project. Once you do that, you just click on generate. Okay, after that, you can decide the tone of the meeting, whether you want to keep it casual, professional, whether you want to keep the email long, short, however you want with the help of Copilot. The next demo is for coaching by Copilot.
Here's how to use Coaching by Copilot to get feedback on messages you write. After you type your message, select the Copilot icon in the ribbon, and then select Coaching by Copilot. And in a few seconds, Copilot will give you tone, reader sentiment, and clarity feedback, and suggestions for how to improve your draft. You can select each section individually, or scroll down the list to see all suggestions. If you're not happy with the suggestions, or if you've made edits and want another pass at feedback, you can ask Copilot to check again by clicking Regenerate.
So coaching by Copilot helps a lot in terms of enhancing our overall email communication. So when we draft an email, okay, Copilot will analyze our pre-drafted emails and it will give you suggestions as to what can be done better in that particular email. So really helping you a lot in your enhancing your email communication skills.
Here's how.
So the next demo is for Copilot in Word.
You need to create a customer proposal and don't have time for writer's block. Copilot can draft a proposal based on your customer notes in OneNote as well as another internal document. Copilot scans the target files and gets to work, quickly generating a first draft with all the key details from the files you provided. Now let's say you want this to look like one of your previous proposals. Copilot can give you a draft in the format you typically use by specifying a reference file, and it can also insert relevant images from another file. To add the final polish, Copilot can generate a short summary at the top of your document and also suggests ways to strengthen your proposal, with options such as adding an FAQ, which it will generate for you as a starting point for you to refine and add to. Copilot has taken a tedious task, simplified it, and freed you to focus on the details that matter most.
Great. So if you've ever stared at a blank Word document, wondering where to begin from, that experience is over. As you saw, Copilot in Word is a game changer. It will write, edit, summarize for you. And again, the example that I had given, the scenario where I had to create a SOW and I used a reference document. So again, that was a very small example. You can do many other things in Word with the help of Copilot. Just a moment, guys. I have to share another deck with you. The next demo is for Copilot Pages.
Introducing Copilot Pages. Pages is a dynamic, persistent canvas designed for multiplayer AI collaboration. Let's say you work for an EV charging company and there's a new business opportunity. You start in BizChat, where you ask Copilot to do some research on the web. You want some basic information, like the number of daily passengers and information on the number of parking spaces with EV chargers. Copilot pulls the information and you turn the response into a page so you can keep working. You want to share what you've got so far and ask your colleagues to help. So you tag them. Now everyone can immediately start to contribute and you can see their edits in real time. Next, you need to get started on a plan for your proposal. So let's switch over to the Work tab. Here, you can ask Copilot to reference a previous plan to give you a head start. Copilot pulls in the deliverables, work back schedule, and owners, which you add to your page. Immediately, your colleagues can begin updating the work back schedule and assigning owners. The next step is the proposal outline. You want to review the customer needs, so a coworker uses Copilot to pull in a bulleted list of requirements from a recorded meeting with the customer last week. In seconds, Copilot is able to synthesize the discussion and give your team the key takeaways. Now you're ready to start building the proposal. Last year, you landed a similar deal, so you want to reuse that great work. You ask Copilot to use that proposal as a starting point and update it to include the new customer requirements. With one last click, Copilot pulls it all together for you. Pages is an entirely new pattern of work, designed for human to AI to human collaboration.
So Copilot Pages is again a multi-collaboration window. Okay, so there are times when members from the different departments have to work on a similar project or a similar project proposal. So with the help of Copilot Pages, you can switch between work and web. Okay, you can do your research on the web, then you can create that into a page and share it with your teammates. And okay, and then you can switch over to the work tab and work with them, and then they can do the same. And you can see the edits in real time, like who's bringing in what content. So really helping you in terms of multi collaboration. So the next demo is for Copilot in Outlook. Prioritize my inbox.
Copilot in Outlook can now help you manage your inbox like never before. Introducing Prioritize My Inbox. It analyzes all your emails using both the content of your messages and the context of your job to highlight what's most important. You can then sort by priority based on Copilot's analysis. Let's look at this email from a new customer. When you select it, Copilot shows you why it thinks it's significant and highlights what action you need to take. This customer is important this quarter, so you teach Copilot that all emails mentioning them are top priority. Now Copilot knows to prioritize any email from them. Copilot is your partner, helping you manage your inbox so you don't miss what's most important.
So this is again a really cool feature of Copilot. Okay, so again, people who constantly get marked in CC or have too many inbox emails. So in that they miss out on the important ones. Okay, again, prioritize my inbox is a lifesaver. Copilot will analyze the content of the email. Copilot will analyze your job role and it will tell you why it thinks this email is important for you. Okay. Again, you can go ahead and train Copilot. You can train Copilot that emails from this particular vendor or this particular person is important for me. Then Copilot will mark that email for you as top priority. The next demo is for Copilot in Excel.
We are combining the power of Python,
Perfect.
one of the world's most popular programming languages for working with data, with Copilot in Excel. Say you're working on your company's annual revenue forecast. In just a couple of clicks, Copilot does an advanced analysis, reasoning over 3 years of historical sales data. Copilot shows a preview of what it's reasoning over, creates a plan to analyze it in a way that is immediately useful, and executes it by writing and running Python code, giving you a quick picture of your numbers. You then ask Copilot to forecast your annual revenue for the next 2 years. Copilot repeats the pattern, creating a plan for how it will tackle the task, writing and running Python code, and prompting you to iterate and ask questions about its work. If you want to make any edits to the Python code itself, you can do so directly in the workbook. That's the power of bringing Python directly into the Excel grid.
Great. So again, Copilot in Excel does wonders when it comes to forecasting, analyzing your data, giving you data insights. So let me just share an instance. I had 2 Excel sheets with me, okay, of 2 products, and I wanted to know on which product I've made more profits. So I attached those 2 Excel sheets and then I asked Copilot to tell me on which product I've made more profits. So Copilot being an AI, it added a whole new column for profits and then told me on which product I've made more profits. So when I actually checked in the backend, it was correct. And again, the other day, I had an Excel sheet with me and the data I think was around 13 lakhs or something. So I had to create graphs. I had to filter the data out. All of those manual tasks. So for example, if a data analyst is working on that particular Excel sheet and has to manually do these things, that task would take up to minutes or sometimes even hours. The same task, Copilot will do it within seconds. So the next demo is for Copilot in PowerPoint.
Introducing Narrative Builder. Now, Copilot is your creative partner. Let's say you're getting ready to pitch a new customer. You ask Copilot to create a compelling pitch deck in your company template that shows how your product will attract shoppers and keep them in the store longer. Now, with Narrative Builder, you are in creative control. It starts with a draft outline, where you can reorder the flow, delete or add topics, and ensure you've got a solid outline before creating a presentation. Let's add 2 more sections to the flow. One on our key value props and another with customer testimonials. Within seconds, you have a content outline and you're ready to start on your presentation. Copilot makes a plan for creating the slides and executes it, crafting the titles and draft copy, pulling in images from your corporate library, and applying your company's PowerPoint template so the presentation is on brand. Now you're ready to iterate with Copilot as your partner. This slide could use an image. So you tell Copilot what you're looking for, and within seconds, it provides several options from your company's approved image library. Once you've selected a photo, you can choose from several slide design options aligned to your company's brand guidelines. With Copilot as your design, writing, and editing partner, you can focus on nailing your pitch.
Great. So again, Copilot in PowerPoint has really come a long way. So earlier what used to happen was when you used to give a prompt to Copilot in PowerPoint, saying create this presentation, Copilot would generate slides for you and that was it. You were not able to edit anything, make any changes, nothing at all. But now with the help of Native Builder, you are actually the creative control. Okay, you can change the number of slides. You can add images if you want. You can add animations if you want. You can add speaker notes if you want. You can change the content inside each slide with the help of Copilot. And really great when it comes to PowerPoint. The next demo is for Copilot agents in SharePoint.
Now with Agent Builder in SharePoint, you can turn every SharePoint site into an agent. You're a field service technician, and there's an issue that requires further research and follow-up. Your team keeps all its customer records, from deployment to maintenance reports, on a SharePoint site. You can create an agent with a single click from any SharePoint site, library, or folder. It can answer questions about the source material, reason over that material, and take action, just like a well-informed teammate would. In just a few seconds, your Copilot agent is ready to be used or shared with others. Let's add it to your Teams chat so everyone can work with the agent. You can @mention the agent as you would any other teammate, sharing new information and asking it questions, and it will respond in real time. Now everything in that SharePoint site is immediately accessible and useful.
Great. So again, a great feature when it comes to SharePoint. So you can make every SharePoint site or a particular folder or document into an agent, okay? And you can share it with your teammates. That agent will reason over the document and it will answer any questions you have related to that particular SharePoint site or document. So it's as good as a teammate talking to you. Just a moment, guys, one last check. Okay. So again, Copilot Actions. Copilot Actions, it's very new. It's still in private preview. Okay. Copilot Actions was announced in Ignite. So what Copilot Actions does is, so it helps you automate your routine tasks by just simple fill in the blank prompts. Okay, let me explain it to you how. Okay. Now this is what you see here. Okay. Saying message Lydia, Liz, and the launch team to collect updates on the project and send it over email by the 20th. Now, I know this looks like a flow. This just looks like a reminder system, but it's really not. It does more than that. So once you create, okay, every teammate, okay, whose names are mentioned will get a notification in Teams with a little chat box. That message will go via Copilot asking for updates, okay. They will have to put in updates related to that project in that box. And once you do that, they click on submit. Once they click on submit, this is what you will receive over your email. Okay. The proper update about the project. Okay. And once you hover over it, you can actually see who's given what update. So again, a really cool feature. It's still in private preview. So I think by the end of next quarter or something, it should be available. So again, a great feature that was announced in Ignite again, live notes taker. Okay. So a live notes taker is basically like an agent sitting in the live meeting. Okay. So it's more than just your summary of the meeting or answering questions related to the ongoing meeting. So a live notes taker, it's like an agent that is recording and stating down each word and sentence said by each teammate. So after the meeting, you get a detailed, what you can say, a summary or something of that particular meeting that you can use it for later to create MOMs or anything you want, assigning tasks. So it will also mention what are the next action items, and you can directly assign it to the required concerned people, and then you can also do various other things with that. So again, a great feature by Copilot. So there are times when you are just randomly added to Teams chat, and before you actually go ahead and read what is this chat about, there are too many messages, so it's not feasible for you to go all the way back up and start reading from them. So again, with the help of Copilot, you can summarize the chats now. You can understand what is the chat about. Copilot will understand the content of the chat. It will reason over. It will answer any questions you have related to the chats. Now, this is what I was talking about. Okay, the content being shared on screen. So if anyone's sharing their screen, it could be a presentation, a Word document. If you're having a hard time understanding it, Copilot will analyze the content, and then you can answer it will answer all your questions. Any questions you have related to the content being shared on screen, Copilot will answer all those questions for you. So again, a really great feature. So in the Teams chats, okay, again, there are too many files being shared, okay, and sometimes these files are very lengthy. Okay, if you talk about your SOWs, your WBS, you don't really have much time to review what these documents say. Okay, again, with the help of Copilot, you can summarize these documents. Any questions you have related to the documents being shared in the chat, you can ask Copilot any questions you want, and it will give you all the information. It will analyze what the content is there in that particular document, and it will answer all your questions. So again, I think a lifesaver for many of us. So there are people who have clients who only speak Portuguese. There are people who have clients who only speak Arabic. Okay, so it's very difficult when you have to share a proposal or a presentation or any document to them in their language. It's very difficult. So again, with the help of Copilot, with just one click, you can change the language of the presentation. Microsoft has given over 40 languages. Okay, within just one click, you can change the language of the whole presentation. Now, again, with the help of Copilot, you can change the content in each screen. Okay, you can make the content short, you can make the content long, anything you want with the help of Copilot. Yeah, so that was all, guys. When it comes to the workshop, again, as I already spoke about the partner community, there's a link in the chat. You can enroll yourselves. So for any such webinars in the future, to keep yourselves updated when it comes to the Microsoft ecosystem, to get insights, to get hands-on on any tools, we would be having all these sessions and even more in those in that partners and in the community. Rukaya, do we have any questions from anyone?
No, Arman, we do not have any questions. However, if there are any, we would drop in our email ID on the chat. You can also mail it to us so that we can, answer them later.
Okay, done. Okay then. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining the session. It was great. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.